guys. This is the last section of notes for chapter 5. And it's 5-6. Before we jump to the quadratic formula and its discriminant, let's talk about how to solve the equation for completeness by using completeness squared. So remember, A and B need to be by itself, so we're good. What we want to do is we want to take half of that B term, so half of 10, and then square it. So 5 squared is 25. Add that to both sides. This will be x plus 5 squared. This is going to be 31 plus 10 is 41. So it's off by 10 in my mind. Solve this by taking the square root. Don't forget you need positive, negative. Square root of 41. 41 is a prime number. All I have to do is put the minus 5 over. So your two answers are right there. Negative 5 plus the square root of 41 and negative 5 minus the square root. And as far as completing the square goes for the second one, let's get that 4 out of here by moving it over. Taking half of it and squaring it. So 4 squared is 16. So we're looking at x plus 4 squared equals 20. Let's take the square root of this guy. And this is going to be 4 times 5 square root. So this is negative 4. We'll subtract 4 over. Square root of 4 is 2. You can't combine those because, 4 doesn't have a root 5 to combine with. So you can leave it as negative 4 plus or minus 2 root 5. Don't forget plus or minus. It's 2 answers. Your essential question you can read right here. How do we solve quadratic equations using the quadratic formula? Basically, this scenario is going to work all the time when you can't factor a problem, using any of the other methods. Quadratic formula, you will not have to need to memorize it, as you can see down here. It is on your formula sheets, okay? But there it is, negative b plus or minus, square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And you can walk through that example on your own. You remember that this is A, this is B, this is C. See, fine. This is how they went through it, because it can't write on exactly. So let's go ahead, take a look at practice here. Establish what A, B, and C are. A is 1, B is negative 2, C is negative 4. This is all organization. People who have good organizational skills usually do well with quadratic. And obviously, if you don't have good organizational skills, you might not like this formula so much. Okay. 2 times 1. There's my original quadratic formula with everything substituted in appropriately. So now I'm going to do order of operations. 2 negatives make it positive, so this is just 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. Negative 4 times 1 times negative 4 is positive 16. 2 times 1. Got to take care of business here first. So it's going to be 2 plus or minus the square root of 20 over 2. Let's break down the square root of 20. Notice I'm not reducing it. 20 is 4 times 5. So square root of 4 would be 2 root 5. And if it helps you to write it like this, that's the same thing. You can see I can reduce this to be x equals 1 plus or minus 1 square root of 5. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1 root 5. And that's finished. Okay. So looking at 2 here, A is 1, B is 10, C is 22. Right? The key is that they're set equal to 0 before you grab them, obviously. So make sure it's set equal to 0 before you pull A, B, and C out. Sorry, I should have said that originally. Okay, so again, here we go. Negative b. B squared would be 10 squared minus 4 times 1 times 22. All over 2 times 1. So here we go. Negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 100 minus 88 all over 2. And it looks like what we get here is negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 12 over 2. We need to break down the square root of 12 next, which would be 4 times 3. And then I'm going to have negative 10 plus or minus 2 root 3 all over 2. all three of my terms are divisible by 2, so this is going to be negative 5 plus or minus 2 divided by 2 is 1, square root of 3. If you want to write the 1 here, you can. You can leave it as how I have it written there as well. So like I said, quadratic formula is pretty much busy work. Make sure you have your order of operations down. Square this first, multiply this second, then do your subtraction. Up here, nothing really to do there. 2 times 1, yeah, 2. Then break down your radical, and then see if you can reduce all three terms by the same number. If you can't, then you can't reduce it. And it's basically the same thing over and over again. So if you struggle with this, it's just because you didn't practice enough. This is a practice-heavy concept. Okay, so let's jump through it again. I want negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c. Well, that's going to be fun. And then 2 times 1. So we have negative 6 plus or minus square root of 36 minus 4 times 58. Let's see here. I'd rather do 4 times 60, 240 minus 8, 232. All over 10. Let me just double check that in my head. Get 200 plus 32. Yeah, absolutely 232. So I need to add and subtract like terms underneath my radical at this point. So that's going to give me a negative 196 over 2. That's actually not a bad scenario to have. Okay, because the square root of 196, and it's negative. Okay, if I pull a negative out, remember it's I. Square root of 196 is 14. So it should be 14I all over 2. Remember, you can write this negative as an I squared. The square root of I squared is I. Okay, all three terms, are they divisible by 2? I would say yes. This is negative 3 plus or minus 7I. That's your final. Going to 4. A is 5, B is 3, C is negative 1. So looking at x equals negative 3 plus or minus 3 squared minus 4 times 5 times negative 1. All over 2 times 5. All right. Again, can't do anything out front. All my work's underneath that radical. So 3 squared is 9. 4 times 5 times 1. Negative times negative is positive. 4 times 5 times 1 is 20. So plus 20 here. All over 10. Let's take care of underneath the radical. Square root of 29. That's a prime number. So I can't reduce it. That's where you would stop. Okay? 3 does not divide 10. 2 doesn't divide 3. 29 is a prime number. You can't divide that by anything to break it down. So let's jump to 5 and 6 now. All right. Again, A is 10, B is 8, C is negative 1. So let's go through this. You got negative 8 plus or minus B squared, which would be 8 squared, minus 4 times A times C. Good. It's going to be a positive or negative. Then I have 2 times 10. So just to rewrite my stuff here, 8 squared is 64, 4 times 10 times 1, and it's going to be a positive 40, all over 20. This is negative 8 plus or minus 104 underneath the radical, all over 20. 4 divides this how many times? 4 times what? I have to do some work here off to the side. It's going to be 26. That's not divisible by 4. It's not divisible by 9 or 16. So okay, what we're looking at when we break this down is the following. Negative 8 plus or minus 2 square root of 26 over 20. Okay? All right, and to wrap this up, all three of these are divisible by 2. So we're looking at negative 4 plus or minus 1 root 26 over 10. Okay, you can leave it like that. If you choose to split it apart, which you very well can do, but then you would have to reduce 4 tenths to 2 fifths, and then the square root of 26 over 10 has to stay as is, if you wanted to split it apart. All right. Number 6. I'm going to divide everything by 3. So That's going to give me x squared minus 2x plus 4 equals 0. So in this case, a is 1, b is negative 2, c is 4. So here we go. Negative 2 plus or minus square root of negative 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times 4. Well, that's going to be a not so fun one. So going through, positive 2, square root of 4 minus 16 over 2. A little bit of space. 2 plus the square root of negative 12 over 2. So this is going to be 2 plus or minus, this is 4 times 3 times I squared. So we're looking at 2I square root of 3 all over 2. And yes, all these 2's can divide out. So if I divide every single term by 2, I get 1 plus or minus I squared root. All right, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pause and I'm going to redo the problem using 3, 6, and 12 for you to see that it's going to get you the same answer. So give me a sec while I put that up. Okay, so as you can see here, I did the work with 3, negative 6, and 12. Plugged it all in, broke it down. It's just bigger numbers to work with. You're still going to get 6 divided by 6 divided by 6. It's 1 plus or minus 1 over 3. Same thing with that. So, wanted to show you that quick. I got to keep moving now, so if you need to look at that, obviously put it on pause. We got 2 more problems to fly through here, so I don't have to make another video, all right? So I'm going to set this equal to 0 quick. Move everything over to one side. That's what you would get. Okay. C is 9. So x equals negative 6 plus or minus square root of negative 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 9 all over 2 times 1. So we got positive 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 36. So it looks like they're discriminated to 0, so we'll have one answer here. So we're looking at 6 plus or minus 0 is 6 over 2, which is 3. One solution. What's the square root of 0? 0. And 6 plus 0 or 6 minus 0 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So going up here, we choose to leave it as is, not a big deal. A is negative 1, B is 2, C is negative 2. So here we go. We got negative 2 plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c. A lot of negatives there. 2 times negative 1. So this is still negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 minus 8 all over negative 2. So negative 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 4 over negative 2. So negative 2 plus or minus 2I over negative 2. So basically, this is going to be positive 1 plus or minus 1I. You could put the negative in here, but it's the same difference because it's positive negative. It's not going to change that. So that's where you can stop. So there's your whole section. Hopefully quadratic formula makes your life more capable to cope because it works 100% of the time. And just be careful, make sure you read directions and you're only using it when it's appropriate. Okay? So I'll see you guys in class. Have a nice day.